part of the fees, my portion, my allowance, I will charge my fees in my fee journal. Correspondent is the one that is responsible, or my business debtor, for that fees. I agreed with correspondent. This tells you exactly which accounts to use and which journal, book of entry to use. Step 1, EFT amount. Correspondent, I will hold the money in trust on behalf of the correspondent. Step 2, I will deal with the cash collected. The cash was collected by correspondent. His trust liability decreases on the debit side. I will show it out. I will hold it on behalf of client. Step 3, I deal with all the costs, fees, and disbursements. I add it together. Client is liable for it. Client's trust liability decreases with this cost, and correspondent's liability increases. Step 4, I will charge my fees in a fee journal. Correspondent becomes my business debtor. I can see something. What do I see?
We need to transfer what's due to us.
I see that I have a client that owes me money in business and I hold for him in trust. I can transfer what is due to me. Step 1, I will use a transfer journal. I will transfer the money value of what is owed to me from trust to business. Correspondent, your trust liability will decrease. I will no longer hold this for you because I'm transferring what you owe me in business. Correspondent business, your business debt decreases. You will no longer owe me this money in business. Debtors are assets, and assets decrease on the credit side. From trust to business. Whenever I work in a journal, I will always post it to the ledger. Correspondent, your trust liability decreases because I'm doing a transfer. In the exam, I want to see the word transfer. Correspondent business, you are no longer indebted to me because I'm doing a transfer from trust to business. Am I complete? Am I done? When I pay myself, I must make sure that the trust cash book does an EFT in favor of the business cash book. Business cash book, you're an asset. The asset is increasing because it is receiving money from the trust cash book. Rafielwe, what is the last step?
Account to client.
I must always account to my client. Homer, correspondent collected 30,000 Rand for you. The cost in disbursements were 19,700. What is due to you is 10,300. I'm going to pay this out to you. Trust cash book, you're an asset. You will decrease because you are paying Homer from trust. You hold that first EFT on behalf of the correspondent, the cash on behalf of the correspondent. You then show what was collected for Homer, and then you show the disbursements. This is all that Homer must see. What was collected and the cost. You and correspondent know the EFT amount. You know what he collected, what were the cost and disbursements, and what is due to you. Any questions? When I receive a statement, these are the tools that I take out. I'm going to read the question in the exam. Any questions? Are you still there? Did memory shock you now? Yes, yes, memory shocked you.
I'm still processing.
Still processing. All right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about the exam. If there's no questions, I'm going to take the screen off. We've done everything. We are just going to check. We are just going to check the syllabus and see if we have covered everything. So let's quickly go through the syllabus. So in terms of our bookkeeping examination, they will test our knowledge on the practical skills for keeping a legal practitioner's books of account. So you need to know the double entry system and the concept of trust monies, the essential requirements of the double entry bookkeeping system. The following are the key practical skills that will be tested. To understand the double entry system and capture these as ledger accounts. I think we know that. I want you to tell me in the chat or shout it out. If you think that we've done it, you can just say check. To know the difference between business accounts and ledger and trust accounts compared to trust accounts, including bank accounts. To understand the difference between the difference and nature of fee journals and general journals. How we treat trust creditors compared to business creditors, Waltons, DEF electronics or computers. To be able to do a bank reconciliation of the business and trust bank accounts. To understand the nature and accounting treatment of correspondent attorneys, including acting as the correspondent attorney. To understand the liability due to the LPFF for the interest received, Section 86.2, the trust cash books interest, 100% to the LPFF. We know that. Section 86.3, investment, 100% of the interest vests in the fund. We know that we can recover our bank charges, but our business bank account pays those charges. This is supposed to say Section 86.3, 86.4, 5% of the interest vests in the fund. Questions on the treatment of VAT in financial transactions. Right. Do we have questions? Yes, I did say 86.4. Somebody left it out there. Whoever typed the syllabus forgot it. Do I have any questions? Okay. Let me take Zamasa's hand. Hi, Zamasa.
Hi, Ronelle. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Ronelle, earlier I was doing the March 2022 question paper, and I was also looking through, checking the memo as I am actually trying to correct myself. And there was a question that says that one of our people we hold money for in trust instructed us to withdraw money from the investment account. Now, according to what I understand, is that we will then use a trust journal because we are transferring from one ledger account to the other. But then that was not included in the memo. I don't know whether I'm the one.
Where did you get the memo? The memo is not supposed to be published. Is it the... Don't answer the question. Is it the one The one at the end that says you call up the investment and received 8,500.
No, it says Mrs. Banks instructs you to withdraw 20,000 rands from the investment.
Mrs. Banks, which paper is that?
March 2022.
Oh, March 2022. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you must be careful of memos, no? That's why we don't publish memos. Memos are the worst, is a candidate attorney's worst nightmare. They make a mistake. They even made a mistake in the March paper. They make mistakes and we don't want you to have memos. That's why we stop publishing the memos. Because the memos is it's your worst nightmare. I think it was an error in the paper.
Oh, okay. So I just want to confirm, so is it correct to say, so if now that Mrs. Banks instructed us to withdraw the money from the investment, now that would be transferred using the trust journal,
no.
Is that correct?
You are withdrawing the money. It's a cash transaction. The money is in an investment account. You must bring it back into the trust cash book. It's a cash transaction. It's withdrawing the investment. Remember, we did withdrawals of investment. You close off the investment account and the money comes back into the trust cash book.
Oh, yeah, that is correct. So we just transfer, like we just take it from the credit side of the investment account and then add it to the to Mrs. Banks' debit side.
Not Mrs. Banks. It's got nothing to do. You exercise control the whole time. You credit the investment account and you debit the trust cash book. The money left the trust cash book. You're bringing the money back into the trust cash book.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Ronelle. I think I don't know why I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's when you're in the exam and you see exam paper, then everything just goes away. I don't know what happens. I'm going to come and sit in the exam room. Then I'm going to be there that you can watch me. All right, Di, and fortunate you've got your hand up, Di.
Yeah, Ronelle, I think we must just be careful of maybe a trick question, because that last one that was just mentioned to me would be a trick question. The money hasn't come in. It doesn't tell us that the money's come in. It tells us that she's instructed us, but until that money actually comes in, we can't go and debit our cash book.
Yeah, I don't remember the question. I can draw the question paper, but yeah, the money must first come into the trust cash book. All right. Fortunate. Fortunate, you've got your hand up. Zama.
Ronelle, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I'm just confused a bit. If we can just go to the question where the statement is of, like, where they have the 3,000 and then the second column they have the 1,000. Like, how do they calculate that, or am I just lost?
Yeah, you are lost. So the 3,000 is the fees that the attorney charged. In the 1,000 is what he's allowing you. Remember, we drafted our own statement and our statement looked exactly like that. What the attorney charged and what was allowed. In this case, 1/3 was allowed. All right.